dirty floor. That's why I turned that off. Let's see. Let's go to Discord. Let me record. Obviously record. Start recording. Start virtual camera. One day I'll edit, but I'm never going to edit anything. We want all the cooling. Coiling. Cooling. Cooling. Test. Test, test, test. Hello. Hello. Hi. Okay. There we go. Chat. Can I move that chat box out? No, I can't. Okay. Wasn't anticipating that. All right. Okay. Cool. All the cooling. All right. I think that's it. All right. So I did OmniFlux. This is all the cooling. Great. Okay. All right. I got exactly an hour before I got to go to Costco and get a nail out of my tire. So I'm going to do, had some time. So I'm going to do all the cooling mods to this. This one has a bad lamp. So I'm going to put a new lamp inside. And we're going to take out the whole back. We're going to put all the cooling mods in there. This is the older V1 because it has the, if you look over here, it doesn't have like the little vent that the new ones have. So I'll probably put a hole in there and then basically just pulling a bunch of holes in this stupid thing to cool it down. We found out that the motor gets about 120 degrees Celsius after a roast. So if you want to do a back-to-back or you wanted the motor to last longer than, I don't know, a few months before it starts dripping oil all over the place, then this is probably a recommended modification now because just the amount of people that are burning through motors is ridiculous. So we found a way to actually use the filter fan for good because this thing is useless generally. I know people are using it and they say that it works. Probably does. I don't think it does, but I definitely would never use this ever again. All it does is choke the roaster. So, but it does come with a free fan that you can use to cool the motor, which is why I'm still kind of happy that they give this to us. Because about 5 roasts in, this thing is going to clog, and then you're going to need to buy one of these random filters that you'll never use again. So we're going to pull the fan out of here. We're going to put it onto here, and I'll show you how it kind of mounts up and all the tools you'll need. It kind of sucks because how big of a modification it is, but it really helps with the motor life. And that motor that's inside it right now is actually pretty decent. It there's people running it, you know, it hits 120 degrees Celsius almost every time you roast, and a bunch of people have been roasting on their machines for about a year. So it's insane how long that motor has lasted for some people. But right now, the biggest issue is that it's overheating. It's dripping oil all over the controller board. It's ruining units. The manufacturer doesn't really seem to care. So fuck them. We're gonna just do our own modifications until they do the fix. Because they have recently put fans on the heatsink. So that's one thing that they've done recently to kind of alleviate some of the issues that's been having. But the biggest issue right now is just the drum motor overheating and dying. Probably that won't last longer than a year. Some motors don't even last longer than like 3 months before they just return the unit. Anyways, let's go do that right now. So we're gonna pull off the back like we normally do. I'm gonna come over here. So if you have a V1, this is what we usually normally do, is just kind of up here. You want to get that wire and just kind of pull that out so you can get this thing off. It's just a little plug. And then I'll get my screwdriver that I always misplace. It's like a running gag right here. Pull all the screws off like you normally would. Put it in a safe place. Oh, what I should do, print out one of these things. This is just like a centering guide, so you know where to put the 2-inch hole. What you'll need is like, you can print out the centering guide or print it using paper too. There's a DXF file online somewhere. And then you're gonna need like what I recommend is a drill with a 2-inch drill bit or drill hole saw. You don't really need this. You get away with a Dremel as well if you really wanted to get away with not having to buy a whole new like tool. But I'm just using a regular drill. I had this 2-inch hole saw for home projects, but I also did one with just a Dremel, and it's pretty easy to. They're really easy to open up. You can probably get away with aviator shears as well, but it's gonna look ugly as shit. So I wouldn't recommend it that way. Although I've done it some that way. But you want to go for the top left corner right here. And you're really just using it for a centering guide. So I do top left corner as far as I can, and then I'll mark these holes. I should mark that up like this. Right? And you want something, if you're going to use, because you're going to be using some drill bits. So if you have one, these little punches kind of help indent a hole so the drill doesn't wander. You can also use just like, I don't know, anything to push in, and it usually leaves like a little dent. And then I want to line that up. Let's go back over here. All that did was just make a little bit of a dent so the bit doesn't wander off. All right, so now I'm going to take off the back panel. You don't want to do this mod with the back panel on because you'll drill right into the motor. I'll loosen up that side, loosen up this, take all 4 of these off right here. I'm trying to streamline this content now, so shit. We'll take these 4 out. Pull that out. Loosen this side up. I just loosen these, all the ones right here and here and here and here. I just loosen those up. You don't really need to take them all off. They don't hold the case into the, they don't hold the back panel to the whole case. Screws you'll take off. These ones, I'll make sure that you don't lose these ones. These are the only ones that are like pretty much different. Then you have these 2, or these 4. These hold the top and bottom. And because I'm going to put the heatsink fan on, I'm going to get rid of these screws, or take these screws out, put them to the side. Just know where they're at. These are like the tap ones. You don't want to lose those ones. There's only 2 of those, so there's a lot of these button head Phillips M4s. And there's only a few of those like M3 taps. All right. So yeah, their motor already like has oil come out, and this is you're gonna find this in every single unit because they all get 120 degrees Celsius and they drip oil onto the top. So I'm just gonna get some simple green and clear that off. Right, washed all that out. I usually just spray some simple green onto like a little cloth. Good. Okay, so we pulled that out the way, we pulled this out the way. And if you want, you could take out the zip tie. I'll give you some more space to move this around. Good, so got it like pretty much completely separated. Now let's start drilling some holes. Let me go grab my battery. I'm gonna drill a pilot hole first. Since I already have like a little bit on my my Ryobi. This is my little drill. My other little wannabe Dremel. Okay, so we're gonna put the I'll flip this over. So I know I put the hole there, but I also kind of want it up a little bit to the side. You don't have to do this. You could still use that marking if you want to, but I'm just gonna go up a little bit because the hole kind of gets around the case area. So I might bring it up just a little bit, like a few millimeters. And I'm just using this just to make that dent. So we'll drill that hole in. Such a weird. Right. Be safe. Someone said I need to put my safety squints on. Or my safety glasses on. I usually use safety squints. Put your safety glasses on because they could fly in your eye and you could be blind and you can blame me, I guess. So don't use your safety squints. So I'm gonna just drill a hole in here. The panel is really easy to drill. Right, that'll be my pilot hole. And this will be my little hole saw. Remember, you still could use a Dremel if you got one, so don't feel like you have to buy one of these. I just had one lying around. I'm gonna go slow on this one. The hole tends to come out a little bit cleaner when I go slower. Okay, I got better strength here. Almost there. It's a little bit more. You also want to go slow because you want to save your wrist. Because I went fast one time and it was a boom! Kind of killed my wrist that day. You could put oil to help too. That helped out a lot last time. If it's mostly through, you can just kind of punch it out. I got a little bit more left. Put a little bit more pressure on the bottom side. All right. Usually, once you're that far, you can just kind of And I also kind of undersized the hole and made it more to the left just so you can get more of the motor in there. Because when you put the back panel on, the motor is actually more towards like up towards the left, but you will start getting interference from the exhaust part. So it's just right below it, but it's still pretty directly on it. And the good thing is the fan will mostly cover it up. So let me vacuum this real quick. Okay, so after that, we need the fan, right? And the fan's pretty easy to take out. You would just grab it, pull it out, and pretty much the fan's right in there. It's clipped on, so you just kind of angle it, pull it out. Maybe hold back the clip. Pull that part out, and then you just snake the wire out of the holds. Good. Then you punch out the little plastic thing that's in here. And just pull out the wire. Get this part out. There you go. Then you got the fan that you just put right here. Yep. And the hole is actually undersized. This is probably like a 2.5 inch hole for this 2.5 inch diameter. This one's a 2, but I like the ability to move the circle around so I could have all the air directed to the place where I want it to be. Also, if you go any like bigger in that hole, you start getting into the to this case. You start drilling into that case area, and you want to kind of avoid that. All right. So now I got there. I'm going to put this fan on. So what I'm going to do next, I want to make sure I line it up nicely. So I'm going to screw this back up a little bit. Screw 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. You could either, you're pretty much going to use either these 3 holes or these 2. You can't use this one because that goes right into the case as well. So you want to avoid that hole. But you probably want to use these 2 or these 3. And from here, you could drill using like a, I want to say this is like a 3.5 millimeter bit, drill bit. So, at 3.5, and you want to undersize because you're going to use M4s, and you can actually just keep screwing them and they'll kind of self-tap. You can also get the little nuts to put in the back to hold it in to make sure that it's on there, but I usually just have it self-tap in. But for good measure, you probably should put those little M4 nuts in the back, and I have some. Anyways, I would just adjust that wire here, make sure that the bit doesn't get into contact with it. Just try to adjust it downwards. You can bring it all the way probably to the bottom right, because you want to get a hold of this one, and that one, and they should be fine. Let me grab the they won't get into the, they won't hit the motor, but let me get this on here. $10:05. I'm still doing good. Got 40 minutes. Just want to make sure that's in place. I don't have to set it all the way in. I want to make sure the fan's at a point where I can not interfere with this part. There we go. Sticker side faces towards the motor because wherever the sticker goes, the air blows. So we'll put that like right around here. And it's not a perfect circle to get like the whole diameter, but it's fine. You don't necessarily have to use this what's it called, this fan. You can also use whatever. I just using this one because it came with the machine, and I'm using all the fans that it came with. There's a little wire in the way of the hole. Good. And this, you want to get like, the only other thing you pretty much have to purchase is these 25 millimeter M4s. You could buy these on Amazon. I think I bought them for like, it was like $5, $8 for a box of them for like 100. So you could get like a pack of like M4s. I always find them useful to have like a pack of them. I used to tap them, but now I just screw them in. You could prime it a little bit by just kind of forcing it in there to kind of tap itself. Sometimes you need to make the hole just a little bit bigger. Oh, this one's being stubborn today. Ow. Okay. hose. All right, so you want to kind of line it up if you want to make sure it looks clean. Line it up there, and I'm just going to use this now to help me with drilling. What'd you do 2 for now? I don't really think you need all 3, but who knows? Better hold, but this one holds it just well. I have a unit running with just 2. Good. That's on there. Yep, and that's it for that. And this, you would just plug it in where the filter fan goes. So you plug it right in there and it should work just fine. Okay, so we got that one in there. If you really wanted to go all out and have like a little good like cooling pathway, you get one of these what are they, 50-15 fans? I have one on one of my units. I have one placed right here, and that just acts to suck in all the air from the chamber and blow it out. So the air comes in this way, then it goes out upwards towards that way. And you could do that as well if you wanted to. Although this keeps it pretty much around 60 degrees Celsius, or no, below 70 for sure. It stays below 70 with just this. And then if you have both of these on, I think it stays within like 55 degrees Celsius, and that's just leaving it on. So we got those fans on. I'm going to pull these off. We're going to install the rest of the cooling fans. We'll go to this. Oh, let me see. I didn't check my. Take a little break because I haven't checked my YouTube messages. If there's any, I doubt it. Okay. All right. Anyways, we'll pull this out. We're gonna switch to the top. It's my messy floor. We'll bring this in over this way. I'm going to turn the Skywalker around. Okay, so now we're going to put the CPU fan on. But first, let's clean up all this oil. This is all oil from the motor. when you reach like anything past 100 degrees Celsius, whatever grease they're using isn't rated for that high. I don't think it's rated higher than 200 and probably 30 degrees. Or no, it's not rated for like anything past 100. It starts to liquefy. So when it gets anywhere above 100 degrees Celsius, it will just start dripping all over the place. Hey, Repat, how's it going? So now, let's go. It's an enhance. Enhance. All right, so this is kind of the area you want the heatsink fan to be. And if you, I have the file. I think I have the file out. I'm not sure if I have it out yet, but if you do have a friend with like a printer, like even any bamboo printer should be able to print this out in ABS. I don't recommend PETG. PETG is for, it's not for me. No, but I like ABS a lot. ASA would be the preferable thing you want to print out of, or anything, one of those fancy filaments that, you know, you might need. Like, I don't know, if you got the money and you're printing out Peak, you could print out in Peak too if you want, but ABS and ASA should be fine. And these are probably just for the older V1s now, because all the newer V1s have this. They installed a cooling fan on it. So they are improving things very, very slowly. I'm pretty sure they just improve things as soon as stock gets low in terms of like their boards. Like they have to do, as soon as they saw all those boards out, they probably restock on newer PCBs with all the new fixes. And then they slowly implement those. They must have had a huge batch on the second round of V1s or third round or whatever. All right, so we pulled that out. It's over here. Good. So this, I don't know if I can mirror this. It just makes it easier for me. I didn't know the orientation. All right, so when you're installing it, be mindful of this little capacitor. You just want to push it forward a little bit. You don't want to like jam it down. Just push it forward so it gives it enough space. And then you just grab this. You put this around the heatsink. It'd be a real shame when they start switching the heatsink sizes. Actually, they won't, because they're going to install these fans and you don't have to do this anymore. So that just hugs around there. This hugs around here. And you kind of just slide it down. Be mindful of the wires. Okay. That kind of you just kind of mold it over it. Bring it as far down as you can, but just be mindful you're not just like jamming that in there. Then you'll get your fan. You'll slot it in right here. Good. All right. Now you got something to hold the fan in place. We're going to put this back in. All right, and that's it. And you want to just route this. If you're lucky, the vendor will send you, or the people that you buy the fan from, these are like 3015s or something. They'll already have this correctly wired up, but right now you have to match this wire color to match this color. So this has to be Left side has to be black, right side has to be red. All right, so if you ever wanted to know how to depin a connector, you just need to get one of these small cell phone things if you have, or any kind of like little flattish pin that could fit right in here. And you just really just push that down and push that down. And then that should be able to push forward and then pull out. Sometimes you really got to get in there. I'll even sometimes push down. I'll push this forward a bit to expose that little clip area. Push down, push down. I'll even try to go a little bit underneath the white and then push forward and then pull out. Easier said than done. Oh, this is a little bit harder than the last one, so I'm just going to push that down a little bit more. Pop that out. Good. And the problem is you don't want to be too hard because you have to get it out again, right? You got to get that little pin right there. A sim tool, yes. I don't know where I found this, and I was like, this is the perfect tool. Enhance. Oh, that's it. There's a little part you got to like pull out that way. So you can grab one of these, kind of pull that out. You want to be gentle. Have it like separate right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little clip thingy that pulls out, and that's what holds it in the housing. You want to do the same with this one. There you go. All right, so like I said, you want black on this side and then red on the other side. Oh my God, my back. It's old man talk. My back. So I'm gonna put black right here. And you'll push it in, you'll feel it click a little bit. It's kind of satisfying. Because you'll find I feel like just click in, and it's just this nice little feeling. And it has like a little pop to it. Like when you open up a ZIF connector. Or close a ZIF connector correctly. Okay. Oh, zoom out. All right. So now we just plug that in over here. Just be mindful of where the wire is at. I'm gonna bring that down there. We'll pull this out. And 20. Oh, flipped over. Why'd you do that? Ah, punk. Zooming in my neck. No, that's my face. There. God, stupid camera. And that just pretty much goes in here. So there's a few places where you can find 24-volt rails on here. So here, back here, and then your USB-C is pretty much a glorified, as a controlled 24-volt rail as well. It just changes its voltage, so it could lower or increase or decrease the fan speed. Okay, put that in. I'm gonna drop those in right here. I'm just pushing these little wires in here. That goes right there. Okay, so we'll put this all back together. And then, yeah, we'll just put it back together first, and then we'll We'll go over putting the bulb later when I come back from Costco. So we're gonna put a bulb in this as well, a new bulb. Lamp, I should say. I keep saying bulb. A new lamp. We're gonna try using this this kind of used one. I'm grading it by how brittle the red stuff is. The red stuff is like dead brittle, then I probably wouldn't reuse it, but this one's not too bad. It's not flaking off as bad, nearly as bad as the other. It's not completely white, as bad as the other used ones I've had. Okay, switch back to front. Move this out the way. All right. We got it all set up. You can also put a fan, like a hole right through here, like a 1-inch hole, and then like kind of like the dead center. You want to go a little, not dead center. You want to go a little bit right here. You could do like a 1-inch hole right around there, kind of in between here and there. If you wanted to cool off, get like regular airflow to the heatsink. If you wanted to do that, I might just drill a few holes. I don't need to make it fancy. And there's like drill patterns you could use too to make it look decent. So let's put this back. And I think in a few weeks, I'm actually getting an SR800. I'm getting an SR800. I'm going to, I'll be modifying one of those as well with this thing called Roast Link. And I'm gonna set it up, put it together, see how it works, do a few roasts on it, see how it compares, and see how good of a mod it is. It's like $200 for the Roast Link mod, which is, might be interesting, might not be, we'll see. But I like what the guy's doing. So we'll have a SR800, I don't know whenever, hopefully this guy sells me one. There's a guy who might sell me one for like 200. And it comes with like a Razzo tube. I don't know all the mods for it, but I know they're cool. Well, I know a lot of people like them. Although their Facebook group is a little bit much. One of the mods comes off as a just comes off as interesting. We'll leave it at that. But the Reddit group for the SR8 Fresh Roast group is pretty awesome. That's where I found the roast link. Now I'm going to put this part back together. So what I usually do is I'll grab like the USB to plug it into there so it lines up. And then I'm going to just screw it in. I'm going to go on the other side. I really have a hard time bending over trying to screw everything back into place. I'm excited to use one. Everyone says they're really, really good. But that's like me going into like a fresh roast group and they're like, hey, what's a really good roaster? And they're like, oh, I got SR800's the best thing since sliced bread. Which is probably okay, you know, but I still think the popcorn popper is still the bang for your buck, best first experience for roasting. The V1 initially was like the worst experience. I gotta fix all this shit so it works properly. Sorry, I'm all body hogging this. You have to be like kind of gentle when you screw back in the controller panel or controller coffin, because it's threaded into plastic, and that's what holds it, basically your electronics in. And if you like get that all loosey goosey, things won't line up anymore. And then you'll have like a weirdly weird way of inserting and taking out and putting in like a USB 8, and eventually those break. Make sure that's all lined up. Sometimes you have to line them up and loosen them, line them up, and then you gotta like tighten them, and sometimes it's a pain in the butt, and sometimes it goes on nice, but if you do it just nice and slow, it should be fine. All right. Oh, I do? For a SR800? Fuck. I have no dedicated, like, that thing is gonna literally chip out my circuit. I'm gonna have to like grab a line from my kitchen to here to my garage. Well, it's gonna be interesting. I think I only have like one. Yeah, I have like one dedicated 20 amp circuit for my whole garage. And I really need to get a sub panel to fix this. But I only have one, like, yeah, there's only one slot dedicated to the whole garage. I actually, to start using my my Airwave, I have to go into my my mud room, because it has a 15 amp area, and I have to just turn off all the lights. But this one I have to go all the way to the kitchen, because that's the only other 20 amp circuit. Cool. Good thing you told me. I'm trying to figure out how this thing hasn't tripped like all my streams, because all my computers, all the cameras, the lights are all connected to this one 20 amp circuit in my garage. And the S5 is the only like roaster that proved like I really need to invest in a sub panel. But I'm not exactly making money hands over fist doing this, so so that is a long-term project. Anyways, so that's good. Like I said, you could use this, and if you don't want to use that fan, you could actually get this blower and you put it to the side. I got to make a little mount for it. So because what this blower does, I installed it to my other one. It mounts. I have one mounted here, and it just sucks all the air out and blows all the hot air out. And that kind of does like help alleviate some of the heat off of the motor. But I still think having a fan here and another fan over here blowing out the hot air, like just having us like a little wind pathway, I guess, little wind tunnel. Probably not really a tunnel, but the only thing is you have to connect this all the way into 24 amp or 24 volt port, because I tried doing both on here, and this doesn't have enough like current to supply both this fan and this fan at the same time. But it does keep the motor running under 60 degrees Celsius. I think I have a 20 amp for my microwave. So I'm going to have to like unplug that microwave or split the connection like with the little Y thing, like a Home Depot thick gauge Y splitter, and then just run that line all the way here to the kitchen. The thing is, I just need a better gauge extension cord. It's kind of far. I think I have one. Another thing is I need another, I need a 220 in my kitchen. I'm trying to get my cottage permit license, and I need to run all my roasting to the kitchen. But if I'm going to start roasting bigger batches on my 1 kilogram Skywalker, I need a 220 out there. Or I could just, no, I can't roast in the, I have to roast in the kitchen. I can't roast in like my laundry room or in the garage. It has to be all, if I'm selling, whatever I'm selling, it has to be done in the kitchen with the dog separated. So before I apply for my cottage food permit, I'm gonna, I gotta figure that out too. There's a lot of things I gotta figure out. I guess I could just run a bunch of V1s, like 3 of them in the kitchen and just run it on high beam. But anyways, that'll be another test. There's going to be there'll be a series where I'm going to start trying to do roasting with the 1 kilogram Skywalker. But I'm at the point where I need to start selling it. Otherwise, I have a shit ton of beans right now, and I haven't roasted in like 2 weeks because I have so much beans. Right now, it's to the point where I have to get into cupping and spitting out like coffee just so I could taste things and see how it tastes over days. But I can't drink like, I think I tried drinking all that coffee one day and I had like, I think my heart rate was like 135 right before midnight. And I was like, it's probably not a good idea. So now I started doing cupping where I like sip it and I spit it out. And I'm like, all right. I only do cupping after like I've drank 3 cups of coffee in the morning. But anyways, I gotta leave soon. I gotta go to Costco in a few minutes. But if you have any questions, concerns, the next video coming up after will be just me installing the lamp in here. And then I think someone had a question about the Q-bean, installing it. It's pretty much, the Q-bean's another easy installation. You can easily, you probably need the sim tool and you just gotta undo the plug, and then you gotta plug that into like a S3 Atom or whatever they're called, and it should run all our fancy software from Bear and Remix, mostly from Remix, the one that found that the Atom S3 can. So I had to put a video on that. What else am I gonna do? Oh, okay, future video is gonna be the SR800. So I should show you what the roast link looks like. Let me pull that up. Still got like 5 minutes. I have a nail on my tire, so I just got to go there real quick and hopefully they just patch it up and I'll be out of there. Where is it? Roastlink.com. I saw this on the this. Nope, that's top Osmo. There you go. All right. So here's the roast link. Cool little project that I found on Reddit. The guy makes these little loggers, right? So you don't have to buy a fidget. And they only run like, I can't read that from my other screen. Pull this out. All right. Yeah, so like 40 bucks. And you just buy your whatever probe, and that's probably like another 20 bucks. But for 40 bucks, that's a pretty good deal. 100 for 2 is kind of a little much, but that's still not bad comparing it to like a fidget. But this is the one I got. This is the his little project here. It's like 289 bucks. So you'll still spend more on this than a Skywalker or a Cubine. But, you know, you get like a fluid bed roaster. And you get this little attachment that you just put at the bottom and see if there's a video. And then kind of hooks it up to there. So I thought that was neat. I thought it was a cool little project. You do need soldering experience, which kind of sucks. And it's only compatible with the SR800, not like the 540 or whatever. There's so many different ones. I didn't realize that. It works through Artisan. He adds over-the-air updates if you have Wi-Fi, which is cool. First come, first serve. So $289. It's, I mean, it's cool. That's a decent price for what, you know, for what it's having you do. Oh, you're adding OLED rotary encoder knobs. Bitch, I should have not bought it. I should have read this part. I didn't read this part. Hold on. Simple installation, swap cover. Okay, so he's getting rid of the soldering junk stuff. Instant manual override during roast. That's cool. 2 rotary encoder knobs. Yeah, that's cool. OLED showing live. Oh, okay. So yeah, I just thought this was a cool little project that I wanted to support the guy, since he got like flamed on the, not flamed, but he was yeah, that's for the SR800 repat. But yeah, it's 289 bucks. I mean, if you could find a used one like I did for 200, put that together, that's pretty cool. And it has a Razzo tube with it, so I'm kind of curious to see how that's gonna work. But yeah, I want to do a build on that. So that'll be one of the next things I'll work on. But anyways, I'll be back in a few. I'm going to drop off the van and then I will start the stream again and we'll do the lamp install. And I'll show you the other, the kind of roasters I'm starting to put together now and sell on Discord. The modified ones. All modifications now are going to have that fan on it unless specified otherwise, because I think it's a huge safety thing and it's a huge quality of life improvement if you can get your drum motor to last longer than a few weeks or months.